Yo, what's up everyone? Sir Toby here, back with another video, and today I wanted to go over my first 3 weeks of the league, my impressions of, these controversial times in Path of Exile where a lot of people are just not having a good time, but I am genuinely having a good time, and then, also go a little bit into, deep delving because I've really enjoyed doing that, and then, yeah, just overall talk about my first few weeks in 319 League. So first let's do a quick recap of what I've been up to. So as you can see in my stash, probably I've, liquidated pretty much everything I have. There's still like a thing here or there, like I just have like 12 simulacrums for some reason, a bunch of daily orbs, stuff like that, that I would still have to liquidate, but I'm sitting on 3 mirrors and 4 mirror shots, and I decided that I just, wanted to sell off everything because, I felt like I needed like a small break from the grind of Trade League and just grinding for currency endlessly. But yeah, let's first go into like a little bit of a recap. So the first 4 days of the league were like pure painful grind for Mage Blood. Basically I just did invitations, so I used the Height of Hubris, these nodes up here, and then the Shaper nodes, the Synthesis Invitation nodes, and even, a little bit of Conqueror maps, although not as many, to just farm up, Maven Rits, farm up whatever you can get in these invitations, like boss fragments, etc. And then either I ran the bosses or sold them or whatever. And that's how I got a Mage Blood. I have a video out there that goes into way more detail on that. But that's what I did the first few days. So after those first few days of, of grind, so this is like the third league in a row where I just, got my Mage Blood pretty early. I think 2 leagues ago I got it by the end of week 1. And then last league I got it also after 4 days, but like I think like technically 2.5 hours slower than this league. So, after 4 days pretty much. And after that I usually like take it slow for a couple days, just, enjoy playing with a Mage Blood. So, in this league I just tried out some stuff on the Atlas, tried out some of the Atlas memories, had some fun, was molding about the Harvest, Life Force amounts, stuff like that. Did some Einhar Atlas memories, those were super fun, like the Sacred Grove ones, and just overall, was just playing around a little bit and just, yeah, I don't know, crafting like better scepters for my character, stuff like that. Nothing really with like a goal in mind or anything. So by the end of week 1, I finally figured out what I want to play. When I saw that the Mahawk Subtle Shield would come back this league, so that's the Ultimatum Shield, I knew that I was going to play some kind of build with that shield. And, at the end of week 1, the shield was still like 40-50 divines, I think, if I remember correctly, or somewhere like 20 to 30 divines, because there was just no supply at all. There were like 3-4 shields on the market at all, and even without any people playing it, the shield was just not available. So, I decided to just, hey, let's go grind like 60-70 divines. So I did that, then ran some more invitations, did some Atlas, this year. I don't know, like, did stuff like Uber Cyrus, which was like abysmal currency per hour, but I just wanted to do Uber bosses instead of normal bosses, stuff like that. So just, normal fun stuff, until I had, the build figured out. The shield was down in price to like, I think 4 or 5 divines, and then I could afford the build I wanted to do. And then by the end of week 2, I was done with that build. I think I was like rank 9 or 10 on the solo delve ladder at that point. And then I didn't play for a couple days, fell back down to like rank 15 or something, decided that, hey, I don't really care about the solo delve ladder, so I'm just gonna go sideways on Delve Dev 700 and find out how profitable, Delve is. So if we go to the mine encampment, and probably show you how much I went sideways, because I just went delved for like 5 days or something. So if we look at the thing here, you can see that I just, you know, went all over the place, just sideways, 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 even more sideways. Is this my deepest? Nope, not even close to my deepest. Yeah, and then I was at somewhere at like 780 or something at my deepest point, and this is like the owl that convinced me that I don't want to go deeper, because I'm not going to be able to do anything like this without losing copious amounts of XP, and I didn't want to do that. Right, so I did that for a few days. I decided to craft, you know, better gear, like helmet, gloves, boots, all eldritch, like perfect suffixes and almost perfect prefixes, which, you know, every one of those gear slots was like 30-ish divines to craft. And then I decided that, hey, I kind of want to just grab a mirror, because I was suddenly sitting at like 100 divines again after delving for another couple days. And yeah, went for a mirror, did that. Then this build that I was playing, so the Mahok Lightning Strike, Doriani's champion, someone who had pretty much exactly the same build as me, posted it on Reddit, it kind of blew up, and the prices of the build exploded. And so I thought, hey, let's just seize the opportunity. So I sold that build off for around 200, no, for exactly 230 divines a couple days ago. And yeah, then I decided to liquidate everything into the mirrors. And, you know, try SSF and hardcore trade. So the last couple days I've been doing SSF for a day. I think I made it to like level 70 or something, so just after maps. Yeah, level 70, just after maps. I don't know, I took my sweet ass time. I did like some lakes, like 9 hours played. Pretty much all the lakes during the campaign I did. Just to, you know, find out if lakes were actually decent while leveling now. They aren't, spoiler wording. As you can see, I have nothing. This Exalted Orb is from, you know, my first heist. Same with the Quill Rain. So yeah, lakes are still garbage. And I just kind of figured that I really don't want to play SSF. Like, I don't want to grind until yellow maps to have a 5 link. I don't want to run heist for 3, 4, 5 hours to have a 5 link. I just don't want to do all that. And I'd rather, you know, have trade available. So I thought, hey, I can have this like experience of chill, slow gameplay if I just play hardcore trade as well. And then I did that. So I did that all day today, and I died twice, both times to the lake. So the first time I was just like level 50-ish, and I just went into the lake without too much care, but it wasn't really like that dangerous of a lake. I think I got like bled and super slammed or something and just died. And then the second character was completely my fault. I was like level 59 and decided, hey, let's do a difficulty 8, double notched lake, and then I just died to a one-shot there. So yeah, can't really do lake in hardcore, or you're just gonna die apparently. And so I'm gonna be gone over the weekend, so I decided that I'm not gonna start a new character or anything. I'm just gonna probably like see how much mirrors go for at the end of or at the start of next week. Oopsie. So yeah, I don't know. Sell like maybe a mirror, sell maybe just the mirror shots, and play something super fun that is like fast, has explosions, and possibly doesn't need mage blood or anything like that. So, you know, that's either gonna be something like Elementalist that uses explosions and ignite, proliferation, or something like an occultist that uses something like poison blade vortex, or I don't know, something like that with Aseneth's touch. Yeah, I really don't know yet. I still have to figure that out. But yeah, could also just be like an assassin. Whoops. Let's see. Like an assassin that, I don't know, joins like Districtster node or something, or I don't know, does something interesting, and and use like an explode chest. Then I don't know, like fire conversion, blade vortex or something. Yeah, I still have to figure that part out. Alright, so that's what I've been up to for the first 3 weeks. So let's talk about Deep Delve and what you want to do in Deep Delve and how much you can expect to make from Deep Delve. So first of all, I want to say that Deep Delve, if you have the character for it, it's like super chill. Like you can just like, it's like straightforward as hell. Every like 20 minutes or so, you go out, do 5 maps with polished scarabs, which are like 1 chaos each. Like even in bulk, I think, unless they went up. So, even in bulk, those are like 1 to 5 chaos, which is absolutely nothing. So you pay like 10 chaos every 20 minutes as entry fee, basically. And you just like click the next node and go, click the next node and go, like click this node and go, click this node and go, click this node, etc. Just, chasing after the next cool thing that you find in your delve. And I found that super relaxing, super fun, and just all around like something that I really enjoyed doing. Now the thing that the money that you can expect is probably somewhere around like 4 or 5 divines. I think once you get to depth like 400, 500, that's around the money that you can get. I was going sideways at like 700 to 650. I could have gone more shallow. Like you don't really see a difference between 650 and 780 or whatever I was at when I was down here. So it seems like it's pretty much the same density of cities, and maybe you get like 1 more fossil somewhere or something, but it really didn't seem all that different. So once you get to 500, you're pretty much good. That's probably like 6-7 hours of going straight down, and then after that you're set up for basically live, and you just go sideways. Now the reason you want to go sideways at like 500 probably, except of me who went sideways at like 700, is because of the bosses mainly. Like something like this, like I'm never going to run this. Like life is extra energy shield is horrible. Reduce extra damage from critical strikes, and the more monster life makes this all pretty much unbeatable unless you have like 100 million DPS. And then still, you can just get one shot if you like miss 1 auto attack because he has crit and accuracy. So, once you're at this kind of depth, this thing has like hundreds of millions of HP, even without modifiers. So, yeah. The shallower you are, the better for the bosses. Now, what you really are looking for is like magma fissures with, magma fissure, so the red one, that one is faceted fossil, this one is smuggler's stash, so that's not the one you're actually looking for. Let's see, no, that's not what I wanted to do. So basically you want faceted fossils, fractured fossils, glyphic fossils, and that's about it. Abyssal fossils are okay, so that would be the crystal spire, that's like 15C. Glyphic fossil is time hollow something. I don't know if I have anything here that actually has the name. It doesn't really. Okay, so basically you want the special fossil from the magma nodes. You want the special fossil. There's, I think, humid fissure from the from this one here, this biome. And you want the special fossil from the ice biome, but this one is super dangerous if you don't have a super tanky build, because it's just 4 essence monsters coming, and those can be super bad. So there's that. Yeah, so overall, as I said, around 4 to 5 divines. The main money you're making is just straight up from these resonators. So if you take a look, these resonators are pretty much going for 1.9 chaos. These people are undercutting, they're gonna sell out super quickly. So like 100 per divine, so that's like 1.7 chaos. When I was delving, it was like 1,490. Pretty good there. Then you have these perfect fossils, which you get quite a few of. Once you have bulk of that, it's like 8 chaos. Same with serrated fossils. If you have like bulk of this, they're also 8 chaos. Shuddering as well, prismatic as well, I think. Corroded and Bound are both like 4 chaos. So fossils are pretty good income as well, as long as not like these super standard fossils. Another thing that you get in Delve is these curse rings here, which, you know, they're not selling quickly, but if you just dump them, if they have like life and a resistance and a like resistance base, they pretty often sell for like a divine or 100 chaos. And that doesn't have a curse, but yeah, I don't know, there's like a bunch of curse rings in here that, you know, could sell for something. Same with like this minion damage ring, you could craft life on that. You know, they're not consistently selling like all the time. Most of these are probably not worth the 1 divine that I've listed it for, like this one for example. But, you know, there might be someone coming along that you know, wants this exact ring for some reason, and then he's gonna buy it for divine. And then you can also just lower the price to like 100 chaos over time. Or list it for like 100 chaos, but you're consistently selling these curse rings all the time. Same with, you know, weird rings like these that have like life and life reservation efficiency. Someone might just need this 10% life reservation efficiency for some reason, and you might be able to sell that. So that is also a pretty huge part of the income. So without the bosses, you're looking at like 4 or 5 divines. The bosses, I would say, are about like worth like 1 divine per kill on average, I guess. The Trial Master really depends on the Val Architect really depends on the Trial Master piece price. I think I killed like 14 or 15 architects. I got 2 Trial Master pieces, so either I was super unlucky or the Trial Master piece is not really that common. But it also has the Doriani's map. I don't know if I still have one to check the price. Probably don't. No, I don't. But I think last time I checked that was a divine as well. So yeah, that was pretty good. And then you have the all amulets. I was super unlucky on the all amulets. Like, I didn't get a single gold one. I think my best all amulet was like 3 divines, and an ID is like 4 or 5 divines. And yeah, and then you get these things that you vendor for, you know, the precursor emblem. Anyways, that's about what you get loot wise. So yeah, that's about that. For the Archnemesis loot goblins, those are super bad in Delve. I don't know if I can show you that immediately if I just hover over a node, but for half of your nodes, the base quantity is just like horrible. So this one is, for example, like a shitty, like a horribly rolled map in the base quant. These ones don't have any base quant. This one has pretty good base quant at 100 quant, but, you know, here, as you can see, this one has 61. So it's starting to get okay once you're at like 700-800. But especially if you're higher up in the chain, you will see that there's like absolutely horrible quantity and rarity on your Delve nodes, and you're not going to get like any drops basically from the from the Archnemesis monsters, just because your base quantity is so bad, pretty much. So yeah, like this one is, for example, 36 quantity and 21 rarity, 14 pack size. It's just horrible. If you were to find like an Archnemesis monster there, it's just not gonna be good. So those are kind of disappointing because of that. So if you were to like go into a random map that has like add modifiers, and then you have like a tormented ghost, and you would find an empowered elements thing that drops like 15-20 fractured items, in a node like this, that would be 2 or 3 fractured items, to give you like an impression of how bad this is compared to like a pretty juicy map or something. And you can't call, you can't do anything here. So yeah, basically that's something to have in mind as well. So if you have a way to consistently spawn those Archnemesis mobs, maybe, and you want to do that, Delve is not the way to do it. So if you want to play Deep Delve, the best thing you can do is probably to just go and look at the Delve ladder. And the Delve ladder is like the most fun thing I've seen in Path of Exile. If you just look at these builds, they're like some are super meta, so this is just, you know, a Forbidden Rite occultist with Aegis. This is just a strength stacking Venom Gyre build. But there are so many cool builds in this that, you know, this is like, I don't want to use like inspiring, that's like too much, but it's super interesting what people are playing when they're delving, because you just have to have a really well-rounded character to go into delve and succeed, basically. So this guy has like 100k armor, and it's just, you know, accuracy stacking. I assume he just has a boatload of damage, so he can go deep. And then he uses like max res and a lot of armor to keep himself alive, and like, you know, triple elemental flasks. You know, this person is a fucking what's it called? Poison reap occultist. You know, super off meta, I guess. Like this build looks super cool. This guy who was like number one the longest time is just basically immortal, so 10k energy shield, you know, trickster that uses blight and ED contagion, and just has like all of the defense and recovery on trickster. So like he just does it by being basically immortal. This guy is like, I love this guy's build. Like, it's just an intelligence stacking champion with Aegis that uses Molten Strike, and natural affinity because he's stationary all the time, and then has melding, so I assume he's at, you know, 89 or 90 max res. So, you know, I love this one. And then you know, that's amazing. There's like a complete madman that has 21 million Sunder DPS on a berserker, you know, doing strength stacking, I guess. So yeah, there's just so many cool builds on a Delve ladder that, you know, I can only recommend you check the Delve ladder out, and, you know, maybe like yoink a build or two there. This is my character with a Mauxol's machination thingy. I was just stacking like generic defenses, I guess. Build guide is on my channel. So yeah, I don't know, super interesting. But basically what you would want to go sideways at 500 is either something like a Stormbrand that has like some cold damage. So I think you can check out Zaboob for that. Here is Zaboob. So that should be the guy that... Yeah, so he just is using Stormbrand. Call of the Brotherhood has like 50 million DPS, and survives that way. You know, that is one way to do it. Then you could also just do something like, you know, explosions, where you just use explosions, or you're just super tanky like these builds here, like this guy, or, you know, I guess this guy with a lot of damage. I don't know. I just love the like constraints Deep Delve puts on you. So you have to have a really, really high level of defense, and then you also need to have some offense. And I don't know. It's super fun for me to make a character that, you know, can succeed there. Because just going full POB warrior and just pumping your damage numbers is not gonna get you, you know, get you far in Delve. So that all seems super fun. Right, so let's talk about, like, in general, the problems that I currently kind of have with the game. So, there's, like, a couple Archnemesis builds. I don't have, like, any graphics or anything. That just have brick builds. So that is Executioner, for example, that turns off, like, half your HP. And, you know, I think prevents you from leeching over, like, half your HP, or getting back HP over half of your HP, you know, HP or whatever. I hate that one. Like, that one is horrible. I don't know why you would put that in your game. You just, you know, making it so that it doesn't matter if you're stacking health. Horrible one. You know, there are the toxic balls if you don't have chaos resistance anymore. That feels horrible. So, you know, everybody is now basically forced to not just have spell suppression on the gear, but also chaos resistance. Like, you need capped chaos res, or at least like 20-30 positive chaos resistance to not just die to toxic balls randomly if you don't pay attention all the fucking time. Which, you know, I don't like that. And then there's maps where toxic is like the default mod for blue mobs, and it's just horrible. Yeah, so there's that. And then, yeah, overall, you know, Consecrator, for example, in Delph is super annoying, so you would need something to turn off the regen, like, I don't know, like put in a Frost Bomb or something. I don't know, I don't like that part. Yeah, so next let's talk about crafting. So, if there was a way to annul a prefix or suffix, or just reforge prefixes or suffixes or something, to unbrick the item, so, you know, that I, you know, don't lose my progress on just suffixes or just prefixes, like there is, you know, on Eldritch crafting with the Eldritch Annul and Exalted Orb, like, you know, I would be fine. Like, if any of this was available for other items as well, you know, I would be completely fine with pretty much anything they did in the harvest thingy here. Like, I don't care about anything else. Like, I'm okay with, you know, removing a random modifier after you add a modifier. I thought it was pretty stupid that you could just slam on like +1 to pretty much anything that can have +1 by crafting on like one fucking, you know, cannot roll mod. So yeah, I don't know. I think the harvest changes were kind of in the right direction. I never used harvest rerolls. I hated that. I would block harvest pretty much immediately after I made it even to maps once I could last league. I don't want to spend 15 minutes or like 5 minutes per map just standing there searching through my goddamn stash, throwing like a random ass craft so maybe I can get like a 10C ring out of it. I hated that. I love the change in principle. Like, the only thing that I really want is to get my checkpoint back. That's pretty much all I care about. Other than that, harvest is pretty much fine. Now, what this changed to no longer have this like checkpoint that, you know, reforging prefixes or suffixes had, you know, does to gear is that, you know, pretty much every piece now is just, you're forced to, if you don't want to run the 9% risk of breaking your item, to just, you know, take a fractured item, spam essences until your suffixes are done, clean off your suffixes by, you know, either annulling or, you know, in the case of fractured gear, you can just use, on like these 4 slots here, you can just use the Eldritch currency to like make one prefix available or just annul everything off. And then you have your checkpoint and you can just craft the prefixes. So pretty much any like boots, gloves, or whatever looks almost the same now, because the Eldritch implicits themselves are really strong, and outside of this chest slot you have very, very few item slots where, you know, non-Eldritch gear could even compete to begin with. Then you have the added pressure of, you know, spell suppress and chaos rest that you need now, and you have the problem that, you know, you only have checkpoints on Eldritch gear now, which means that just everyone is doing like Eldritch gear with one fractured mod. Then you spam either fossils, in this case for the abyssal socket, like fossils, until I got tier 1 attack speed. That was like 15 fossil spams or something. Then you like lock prefixes or like Eldritch craft until you have one prefix you want, then you iceling, and then you craft the modifier. That's basically every gear slot now. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's a great way to handle it. I still want to like awaken orb together some stuff. You know, outside of boots and chests, it's just basically almost never worth it. Sometimes you want like a power charge helmet, then sure, maybe you want to awaken orb something together, but yeah, I don't know. It just feels kinda weird that they, you know, have these super powerful implicits and, you know, the crafting available on Eldritch stuff, and, you know, awaken orb stuff is just falling to the wayside completely. I don't know. I don't really like all that. I'd rather they allowed us to, you know, craft the same way regardless of the influence, which was the case before. The only thing you would get is the target null and exalt, which, you know, that is so powerful in and of itself that it was already making Eldritch Gear a lot more desirable in many cases than the Walk Orbed stuff. One last thing that I want to talk about is that the Divine and Exalt changes feel fine to me. There's nothing really I have to say about it, except that sure, Divines are like 10-15 chaos more expensive now than, you know, Exalts were at the same time. But that all evens out over time, I guess, with, you know, you're making chaos orbs the same amount or something. I don't know, it doesn't really matter if a Divine is 20 chaos more than an Exalt or something. I love slamming Exalts on stuff, but at the same time I hate not being able to divine anything. So, you know, at least we had Leo slams when Exalts were useless. You know, no one was using it or going through the effort of, you know, putting in the Leo slam, but at least we had the option. And now with Divines it just feels horrible. Like, at least give us, like, I don't know, a way to divine rares that is not throw a divine at it. Like, I can't even imagine how horrible it must feel to craft a physical weapon now, or to try to, like, alt spam something to fracture it, and then you just have a bad roll and you have to spend like 3, 4, 5 divines to get that 14 instead of that 12 spell suppression on your gloves to fracture or something. I don't know. Yeah, not great. But yeah, overall, I don't know. It's just really a lot of fun to kill stuff. I think the fractured item loot goblins are a great idea. I think the idea in principle is fine. It's just that, you know, getting like the sweeping changes they decided to make to enable it. So because I think that the reason all the quantity was removed from League monsters, like a big part of that was that without those changes they couldn't have implemented the Archnemesis, you know, loot goblin thingies, without them spewing out like thousands of divines on some of those League mechanic mobs. So I don't know. I think I'd rather just have the old stuff back rather than the Archnemesis stuff. But I don't think they're gonna revert that. Overall, you know, Alva feels horrible. I've been trying to run like delirium stuff with like Breach and Alva and stuff, and yeah, Alva never drops anything. I don't know, it's terrible. There's nothing in Alva. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of adjusting that has to be done for loot to feel great, because right now it's just spamming stuff like Expedition, Legion, especially Legion, which already has great rewards, and then it has a bunch of rares. Just so much better than you know, anything else you can do with like Breach or whatever, just because the loot goblins, not only do the loot goblins apply to Legion, but also you get a lot of static loot from Legion that a lot of the other stuff just doesn't have. So yeah, I think I just got a bit rambly. This video is way too long anyways. So yeah, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. So yeah, hope to see you in the future. Bye.